Hello guys, this is Mxntxs and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to do a little bit of a different video, as if you can't tell boys, I'm bored of EAFC. It's a bit dry this year, I'm not gonna lie. It's lacking. It doesn't feel like FIFA. It's really, I don't know, it's kind of boring. So I thought about making a video on how I personally make my thumbnails. Of course, they're not the greatest thumbnails as well. I know that for a fact because I still have a lot to learn. So I thought, why not share the things that I do know for some people that want to start up, for example, content creation and want to know how to do thumbnails. So because when I started, I had no knowledge and my thumbnails were absolute ass because I was doing a whole different game at the time. I was doing Roblox because, you know, easy views, let's be honest. But my thumbnails were never the greatest. I wouldn't say they're still good, but they're definitely not as bad as before. In today's video, I'm just going to show you guys how to make a simple player review thumbnail. And if you do like this tutorial video, I've never done a tutorial video before in my whole life, so do let me know in the comments down below if this was actually helpful. If it wasn't, do let me know in the comments as well, because I do want to help you guys as well. If you need help with content creation and stuff like that, I do want to help out the community, because this is why I wanted to do YouTube. You know, I wanted to make my own community at work together. You know, I want to see my viewers grow as well. So I do have a Discord. It's gonna be linked in the description as well. Everything that I use in this video will be linked to the description. So for example, the program that I'm using is called Photopea. It's gonna be linked to the description. You can go download it. You don't even need to download it. You can go on their website and use it there. But yeah, I think I blabbered on enough. Let's get straight into it. So when you do open up Photopea or whatever program that you're using, these are of course what you're going to need to use. The width at 1280 and the height at 720. Of course, on Photopea, it's already pre-made for everything that you want to do. So Instagram, Insta stories, YouTube profiles, YouTube covers and stuff like that, they're all already here. So what you do is you press on the YouTube thumbnail and you just press create, and then you get a blank page like this. So this is the thumbnail that I'm going to be trying to recreate right now, because I do actually really like the design of this, because I did try and make it myself, and I think I did a decent enough job. Of course, there's definitely improvements I could have made, and to be honest, it's actually kind of simple, I'm not gonna lie. So of course, the things that you will need, of course, is the card that you're going to be doing. And for example, I'm doing an icon card. So what I do is there's two websites that you can actually download the card from, which I'm going to show you right now. So the first website, which is the most easiest, I think most people who play FIFA will know about this website, is Footbin, of course. They actually have tools over here which actually help you with all of this. So if you press on Foot Card Creator, you get one of these things. So let's say I'm doing a Hernandez review. I don't know why I can't spell all of a sudden, what is wrong with me, but yeah, Hernandez is right here. You press on the card and all you have to do is just press download, and it's just that simple. If you don't like the image as well, you can change it by putting a URL inside of here for your own custom image. But if I do want to change the image, I do prefer a different website, which I'm going to show you right now as well. So this is the website that I do use for a bit more detail as well, which is called FIFA Rosters. All of this is going to be linked in the description as well, so if you want that, you can go and check it out. But the way I would change the image, for example, is you go to player data elements, then you go to the image section right here. You, let's say, because he doesn't have any dynamic images, you go to, let's say, FIFA 23, right? And let's see, like this one, for example, you could press that. Of course, it's gonna be a bit messed, but all you have to do is press dynamic image. But the problem is with these newer cards is they're smaller than, of course, the other FIFAs, so you would have to work on it a bit more, which is of course frustrating, as there's not too many, you know, ways of changing it, which is really frustrating. But at least you can clip the edges and then fix it a bit yourself, but still it's really annoying to deal with. But a way that you could, I guess, do it is you go to Footbin, I search up the card, you go to the card. So after you find the card that you want to, of course, do, you go to inspect element, because if you want to do the background of the card design as well, the way I do it is like this. I go inspect element, which is right here. Then you scroll down a bit until you see the background image. You press it. Well, you don't press it, but you hover over it. Then you try and, I don't know why it's acting up right now. What are you doing? But then you go up to current source, you press it, and this should pop up. What you do then, you can either copy it or you can save it for later use. Then after you have everything that you need, what you can do is you go to wherever you saved the card. So for example, I'm doing Hernandez, of course. I just drag it into here and I should have Hernandez. I'll make it a little bit bigger like this. And then the background that you copied, you just do Control V to paste it in, and you just make it massive. That's it. All you do is just make it as big as you can. You put Hernandez up top over here, for example, and yeah, that's the background. People don't really focus on to the background too much, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And this is pretty much the main bit that I did. Of course, I did a little bit more of designing, which you can do if you want to, but I don't think it's necessary, to be honest. It's just a bit extra, but this is what you should have. Then we can do is search up FIFA icon logo PNG, for example, and something like this should pop up. What you do is simply just copy it. So after you find the icon logo, we can do is just Control V to paste it into it, and then you can just play around to your liking. Wherever you want it, you can place it. So for example, over here it could be 1. Then I do Control C to copy it, and then Control V to paste it. And yeah, you just put it anywhere you want it, pretty much, like over here, for example. And then you can play around with the settings that you want. So for example, if I go to this one right here, then what you can do is you can double click it, and then a layer style menu should pop up. The only ones that I mainly use for these type of things is the drop shadow, which you can put up to 90 degrees so you can see the shadow. And then you add an outer glow, which you can play around with. You can change the color of it, whatever you want, basically. So if I make it that color, can see there's that color. You can make it whatever you want, basically. So yeah, and it should look something like this. And then what you can do as well to save yourself time is, if you want to do the same thing, you just press it again, and the settings that you had for the other logo are saved automatically, so you don't have to stress about that. And yeah, that's how I did the icon logo thing on this thumbnail, for example. Now if we take a look at this thumbnail, you can see the Mexican flags are in the background, and the way I did those are actually really simple. All you have to do is just search up Mexico flag PNG. You go to images, and then you just look for the image that you like. I do prefer to look for a flag that kind of has like detail to it. It's not like plain like this, for example. It has like, you see those, like, I don't know what those are called. Like, it looks like it's moving, right? I do prefer if it has a little bit of that, not too much, so it doesn't overcomplicate things. So this, for example, right? You can see there's kind of like wavings, yeah? So what you can do is just copy it. Then you go back to Photo P, and then you do Control V again, and you should have your Mexico flag right there. And the way I made them look like they're like weirdly angled is actually really simple. All you do is you select the flag, you hold Control, and then you just do this. You just drag it to your liking. So if it's going, for example, that way, what I could do is like do something like this, so it looks a bit tilted in that direction. I put it here. Then what you do is you go to filter over here at the top, and then you go to, let's say, blur. There's motion blur, which I do add as well, and it looks like it's flying across the screen pretty much. And then what you do is you just add a drop shadow for it, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, and then you just play around with the size of it like that, and you have your Mexico flag right there. And to make it pop a little bit as well, if you want more color on it, what you can do is you can select the flag, go to the image, adjustments right here, and then you just, I don't know, you can go to vibrance, saturation, or brightness, the ones that I mainly use. So if I go to vibrance, it makes it a bit more colorful. So let's say I put that to 30. Then I can go back to the adjustments, saturation. I guess we could put it up a little bit, not too much, maybe like a 6 or something like that. Then you go back again, exposure as well you can do to make it a little bit more shiny, I guess. But I don't usually use this, but just for the example, that's how it looks. So if I paste the same one that I already had to compare it with, you know, I would say that one looks better than that, let's say, because there's more depth to it. Because it looks very bland if you just paste it in like this. Then what you could just do is just copy this image. Then you could just copy it, drag it anywhere you want. Let's say like this. Stretch it out a bit. You could put it over here or something, and then just, you know, add to the thumbnail itself. Of course, you don't need to add an image like this, for example. It's not needed, but if you do like that design, of course, what you can do is actually really simple as well. You just search their name up and do make sure to add PNG, of course, because it does help a little bit. But if you can't find the actual good image of it, because as you can clearly see for Hernandez, it's basically no images for some reason in PNG. It's only like Lucas and Theo Hernandez, which is really annoying. But what you can do is just search up the name normally. But what you do is just go around, try and find an image that works, and I believe this one might actually work. So what you do is you drag it in. Yes, it's working, and there you go. It removes the whole background. Of course, you can add some touch-ups to it to make it look a little bit better, but for the example, I won't do that. Then you press download. It's free to use, which is nice. Then what you do is you just drag the image into photo piece, so it should be like this, and then you just play around with it, add it somewhere where you feel like it will look good. So for example like this. Then what you can do is you can hold it right here and just drag it up to the top, or you could do, if you want the hand to be behind, you can go to this card right here, you press wherever you have it on your photo P, drag it up above the image, and his hand will be behind it. So that's the very basic way of explaining it. I hope it's making sense, boys, because I'm not the best at explaining things, but I do want to try and work on that. But yeah, you should have something like this. Very simple, very easy to do. Of course, you can add to it by adding maybe a drop shadow to it, maybe an outer glow as well to make him glow. Same for the icon card as well. You could add a drop shadow, outer glow, you know, stuff like that. And then of course the player review thing. The way you add text is very simple. You just press the T right here, press here, and just type player, for example. And we move it up so people can actually, I don't know what I just did. What we can do is you can hold the text, put it above here so it pops up here. Now the font that I use, I believe, is not on Photopea itself, which is called New Plaque right here. I'm gonna try and find it and put it in the description so you can guys go and download it and upload it to your Photopea. But after that, I mean, you could just look for your own font if you want. If you don't like this font, you can add your own fonts. It's very simple. You just go like this. There's like a lot of fonts that you can go through. So you just find the one that you prefer. And after that, what I do is I double click it. I add a stroke to it. So maybe like, I'll do it like on a 12 just for that like bubble effect, I guess. Then we can do as well, if you want two colors, you can do the gradient overlay. And then you play around with the colors that you want. Or you could go the simple way of doing a color overlay and choosing the color to your liking like that. So you would have player right here. Then of course you can copy by pressing Ctrl and C and then Ctrl V to paste it in. And then you add it under. And this, and here I'll write review. So there you go. It says player review. So of course I didn't do it exactly the same way, but still gets the point across. It's, you know, it's not too hard to make a simple thumbnail like this. Of course it's not the greatest one, as I still need to learn how to make thumbnails, but it's a simple way of trying it out for yourself for the first time. But that's pretty much it for this tutorial, boys. I hope it made sense. I hope it actually helped you guys figure out how to make a simple player review thumbnail. If it didn't, do let me know in the comments down below on why it didn't and what I should have improved on, and maybe I should do it again and actually explain it better with your recommendations on how to improve. So if it did help you, do make sure to like the video and of course subscribe to my channel. So yeah, it's been Mxntxs, boys. Do let me know in the comments down below what other tutorials you guys want from me or how I should improve. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.